hope you are having a great evening. Thanks for coming. You came for TED Talk, so here you are. But before we start, I have an important question. Who's ready for some TED Talks? Woo! First up is Olivia Peters on ocean pollution.
So, hello. I'm here to talk to you about something that I want to stick. I want something done about it. And let me tell you, it isn't getting much better. I'm here to talk to you about ocean pollution. But to get us off on the right foot, I want to show you an image of what you think of when you're like, I'm going to go to Hawaii today. Or when you think, I will be in Florida in 3 weeks from now. And you just daydream at that thought. So this is a healthy ocean. Now that's obviously what you think of when you think, I'm going to the beach. You don't think exactly what there might actually be. Well, there's millions of these little, well, they're not exactly little because some of them are the size of New Jersey. This is a dead zone. Now, as I said, millions of these off the Gulf of Mexico. Some the size of New Jersey. They kill plants, they kill animals, they are just a huge problem, and there's so many of them, and it's not good at all. We've been causing it. So, I'm wondering, how many of you, well, you need to understand that you need to know what it's affecting first. And one of the biggest things that it's affecting is animals. I have a question. Are any of you animal lovers? Can I get a raise of hands? Oh, okay, well, I am too. In fact, I have a star coming to see you today. Now, I will give you a hint. It's very famous, and it's a fish. Would you all give a warm welcome to Dory? Now, Dory is a forgetful little fish who is in the movie Finding Dory and Finding Nemo, all the Finding Fish. But as a forgetful little fish, if, say, a can from the ocean pollution were to hit her head, she might not exactly know how to get home. And that is a really, really, really huge problem, because it's Dory. But there's also millions, every, say, decade, millions of fish die. To be exact, 100,000 every year of just sea mammals. And the same goes for seabirds. Believe it or not, it affects way more. For example, these fish on the beach, I have literally no idea, but it looks like a lot of fish on that beach. And they're all dead. So, that's a rather large problem. There's also animals whose insides are filled with trash because they eat the trash. They eat it from the ocean because they're supposed to eat fish, typically. There's also this seal who's being choked by a net, and this octopus, which is just clearly dead. This is what an octopus is supposed to look like. We caused this. We hurt these animals. But do we know how? Well, another important thing to know about ocean pollution is what in the heck causes it. Well, mostly plastic. Plastic is everywhere, and it's being thrown away constantly. Millions of plastic bottles and bags are dumped into our ocean. Once again, there's bottles, bags, but there's also nets, toxic chemicals, medicine, soil, pesticides, herbicides, detergents, oil, and sewage, all being dumped into our ocean. Now, it may be hard to tell, but it's very important that we stop ocean pollution. For example, we need to turn off our lights. This is so important, and I bet all you parents, if your children have a problem with turning off the lights, you probably tell them it about every day because it costs on the electrical bill. But it also hurts our ocean. The electricity cuts down natural resources, and that can hurt our ocean to send stuff down into our ocean, and it can take away things that help us to keep our ocean clean. We also need to recycle. We're not the only ones working hard. There's also marine sanctuaries built, and it's now against the law to purposely dump harmful materials into the ocean. Now, I finally like to give you a little bit of encouragement. So, I've done a quote. So back in the magical land of the 14 and 1500s, Columbus went and ran right into America. Of course, that was just like this, but it works. There's even a phrase. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. So anyways, I decided to take a quote from him. And this says, you can never cross the ocean unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. This can empower us to make a difference. Because if we aren't willing to begin, it's not going to happen. So, I would hope that you would start dreaming with me of pollution-free oceans. Try to start making a difference. If just recycling, turning off your lights is a way to make a difference for our oceans. But you can also make a difference in someone else's life. You could help them or just smile. That brightens everybody's day. Finally, I'd like to leave you off with just a small reminder that please recycle, turn off your lights, and help our oceans, our creatures, and Dory. Good night.
I guess you can't find Dory with all the water pollution. Next is Ian Weatherman with the Tetralogy of Felt Heart Effect.
Hi, I'm Ian, and I wanted to tell you about something that is dear to my heart. It's a story about overcoming obstacles in order to invent a life-saving operation. As I was saying... Here's a phrase you have probably not heard before. Tetralogy of Philo. Say it with me. Tetralogy.
Tetralogy
Of Philo.
of Philo.
Into the silence. Tetralogy of Philo is a congenital heart condition made up of 4 separate heart defects. These are the right ventricle hypertrophy, the overriding aorta, I'm just putting anywhere, I don't really know what these are. The pulmonary stenosis and the ventricular septal defects. I don't want to nerd you out with further details of the heart, but suffice it to say that these defects work together in a sort of way to restrict the amount of oxygen flowing throughout the blood. This can result in brain damage or death. Here's a little video I found that tells about it. Let's see if it works.
Or it does. The blood from the body that returns to the heart initially is blue because it's low in oxygen. The muscles have used up the oxygen.
Okay, let's just skip the video. The condition is named after French physician Arthur Fallot. In 1888, he detailed the 4 defects that contribute to blue baby syndrome, in which the baby's lips, fingertips, and skin appear blue because of the lack of oxygen. And this is fixed by a procedure called the BT shunt, or in a very long word, the Blalock-Taussig shunt. I'm sure you're all fascinated right now by all this medical jargon. The real interesting part comes from the people who invented it. In order to make this procedure work out, there are a number of obstacles to overcome. The BT shunt is named after Dr. Alfred Blalock, who's a surgeon, and Dr. Helen B. Taussig, who is a cardiologist, who invented it with the help of Vivian Thomas in Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore in 1944. Helen B. Taussig had the idea of how to correct this, but she was also deaf. In fact, she developed the common technique of using her fingers to check for a pulse. Here's a quote by her to express that she was deaf. This is Dr. Vivian Thomas. As you can see, he was African American. This was one of the many prejudices that were on this surgery, because in the 1940s, it was a very segregated time. So he was known by many around the campus as a janitor. These prejudices and others caused his work and contributions to be overlooked for a number of years. Another obstacle to overcome was the length of medical science 42 years ago. As you can imagine, the medical science was more primitive, and there were no internal imaging capabilities to allow doctors to see blood flow through the heart. In fact, Vivian Thomas and Dr. Blalock had to make their own surgical devices because the other ones were too small to be used on an infant's heart. Another setback was the laboratory where the two worked was known around campus as the doghouse because it was run down, neglected, and smelled awful. Vivian Thomas had to fix it up just to make it usable for his research. This is a picture of the very first baby to receive the BT shunt. Her name was Eileen Saxon, and she got operated at Johns Hopkins University in November 1944. Vivian had perfected the surgery on laboratory animals, but since he was not a trained doctor and did not have a medical degree, he had to stand behind Dr. Blalock on a stool, directing him on what to do. With no medical degree, he assumed the position of head of surgical laboratories for 35 years and had earned an honorary doctorate in 1976. He passed away in 1985, and the story of his contributions to this story is depicted in the 2004 HBO movie, Something the Lord Made, and I highly recommend it if you're interested in a more detailed telling of this story. You may be wondering why a third grader is telling about a heart surgery procedure. Well, maybe this will help you understand. This is a picture of a TOF baby in late 2007. Isn't he adorable? He just had the BT shunt installed in him after being diagnosed with tetralogy of Fallot, also in his mother's womb. Because of this surgery, I can show you this effect of the same baby 9 years later. Does that look familiar? Although no studies have gone to prove this, tetralogy little babies look handsomer than other babies.